Well, it's great to be with you in a real estate market where there are over 10,000 agents to choose from. It can be a daunting task to find someone you trust to help you buy or sell a home. So let's welcome Christine Hall from Slate Real Estate. Great to see you.
I know you too. So glad to be in the studio.
Yeah, so we're talking about the importance of being comfortable with your real estate agent. Let's talk more about that this morning.
Yep. So it's really important to interview the agent you'll be working with, because if you think about it, this is probably the biggest asset that you have. And so in the same way that you don't want to hire a construction company who has never done a job before to work out their kinks on your $50,000 kitchen remodel, you want to make sure that the person you're working with has experience and knowledge in the documents and negotiation and the market.
Right, and you've got a good knowledge of the market. You're a local here, and you know the nuances, so to speak, of the First Coast. So that's very important. Now, why is it so important to interview an agent before using them in this process?
Because just to make sure that you're vetting them, to make sure that they have that experience and that knowledge in those different areas and in the market, and that they have a little bit of time behind them in the business. Okay,
and the next question is, you've got to learn. My mom always said you have to learn to ask the right questions. Yeah. So talk more about that. What are the most important things to know when you're interviewing them?
So I think a good place to start would be to find out how often are they helping people through this buying and selling process, and then what is their process as an agent. So I could have my license for 10 years and only help 1 or 2 people a year through the buying and selling process. So time in the business doesn't necessarily equate to experience or knowledge. And then as far as every real estate agent, typically they have a process of how they take people through it, whether it's something very systematic and they can show it to you, or it's just intuitive. So you want to find out things like, how often are you going to be communicating with me? What are the documents I'll be signing? How often are you going to be talking to the lender? Just different things like that.
Right, because there's so many loose ends to tie up, so to speak, right? And what would one maybe not anticipate in this relationship with their real estate agent?
I think that I say chemistry matters.
Okay,
so
I agree.
It is a really stressful process as it is, but then get somebody that you clash with, or you don't have the same style of communication, and it doesn't ease the process at all.
Right, and you know how to communicate effectively. You've got some highs and lows, I guess, through this whole process, and it's important that person knows how to communicate with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us, and of course, we'll have to have you back.
Of course.
And you can check out our website for more on this, but first, hey, make sure you watch Home Connect TV. That's on 7 days a week with hundreds of homes for sale across the First Coast.